Reflections of Home is my new photo poetry booklet. One of my most memorable poems that I wrote growing up was in grade 6. It's a haiku, and it went, "School, a book before me, many pages still unturned, a life of learning." Simple, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables, and yet it says quite a lot. I remember when my younger brother went through grade 6 2 years later, the teacher was using my poem as an example to the students, and it kind of made me happy, and I thought, well, I should keep writing some poetry. What I usually do is I pick a picture like this, a photo that I've taken, and I write words that come to mind, and I write a poem about it. Usually they're free verse poems, but sometimes I like to try some things like Sijus and Cinquains, or Nonets, Tricubes, Haikus, and see how creatively I can write with some restrictions on how many syllables, or how many lines, or how many words. I'll read you an example. The first page has an example that I quite like. This is one I wrote about 2 years ago, and I actually wrote it to a different picture, but my pictures in this book are supposed to be reflections, and this has a beautiful reflection in the bottom. And it goes like this. Time. It is before us and behind us. It is right here with us. It is everywhere, yet we can never seem to find enough of it. Like autumn leaves, time can be gathered together and saved in precious memories. Like ancient trees crashing to the ground in an angry storm, time can be lost in choices and in passages. Time is older than we can comprehend, and yet it is as young as each tick-tock of the old wooden clock hanging on the wall. We dance with time all our lives, running after it, catching it, dropping it, gathering it together in our happiest moments, pushing it away on our saddest days. Eventually we end our dance, and time carries on without us, here and there, reminding the world of each being that danced with time. Now the saying goes that a picture is worth 1,000 words, but I think if there's a book you've loved, or a poem that you've really enjoyed, you'll know that that saying only holds true based on the picture and based on the words. So for me, as a photographer, pictures have always been worth 1,000 words. But as someone who likes to write poetry and who loves books and reading, words are also worth 1,000 words. So what I try to do is take a few words and turn them into something that will inspire emotion in people who are hearing it, but especially paint a picture of what I'm trying to tell you about. So here's one for Trout Lake. Trout Lake, if you don't live near here, Trout Lake's up north a little bit from here. And there's beautiful sunsets at Trout Lake, and there's also, fish and pretty reflections, as you can see in my book. So here's one I wrote for that. Bugs to feast on at the lake, fish taking fish on dinner dates, and bugs flying away from dinner plates. This is a playful little poem. When I started writing this book, when I started thinking about writing the book, the idea had been that every picture in it would be only of a reflection. What I came to realize is that the reflection on its own doesn't always make the whole picture. There's some beautiful pictures in here that are only of reflections, but so often it's how that reflection fits into the landscape and the scene around it. In my book you'll find reflections of all sorts, like from car mirrors or frozen lakes and ponds, in water, in glass. So for many years I've written poems and put them with my pictures. Someone once came to me and said they'd read a poem of mine that really touched them and was really beautiful. And I said, "Oh, did you see the picture that was with it?" They didn't actually see the picture with it. They liked it so much they went and found the poem and wrote it down and came back and read it to me so I'd know which one it was. It goes like this. With open eyes, beauty resides in the scrubbiest of places, in the thickest of overgrown weeds, in the way the warm embrace of glowing sunlight softens long-gone blooms and coddles the ones arising new. I touched that lady with what I'd written, so I'm hoping that you'll find something in this little book of treasures that will inspire you and give you a break. This book is designed to be like a little tea table booklet where you can escape for a little bit at a time by reading a few pages. This book, gathering everything together took about a year and a half, and then I compiled it. It's printed locally at Hall Printing in Nelson. And this project has been made possible, and I have special thanks for the Columbia Basin Trust and the Columbia Kootenay Cultural Alliance, the North Kootenay Lake Arts and Heritage Council, who provided me with funding that made it possible for me to create this. I'd love to do an artist talk about this one day. For now, where we're at in nowadays times, this is the best I can give you. If you do have any questions, please do contact me, and I can talk to you more about this project. Thanks for listening. I'll leave you with one more poem. Let's pick one out here. Here's one that will paint a picture for you. So this is the picture that I've written it for. And it says, layers of clouds spread across the snow-covered mountains, like little ribbons of delicate lace. The deep lake waters carried the soft, reflecting glow of the mountain range, sweeping to the sky in patterns of bold patchwork. As warm golds turned to orange, light shadows grew deeper, the February air grew colder, and reflections melted away. The evening arrived with its own grand painting of stars, still waters, and glowing snow. Thank you.